My name is Shante Standback, and I am a patron of Dr. Reid's platform, LRL, on Patreon, as well as a member of Reformation Church of Atlanta. I started as a viewer. On Facebook Live. I was introduced to Dr. Reid as he was covering church in the pandemic. A friend of mine shared the video with me and was like, you have to watch this, because this particular episode that he was providing his commentary on hit home for me, as it was the family church that I grew up in. So it was from that moment, and I remember it was October of 2020. And it hit home for me because at that time it was the height of COVID. And although I was no longer a member of this church, I still had family members that were still pretty much, very much a part of it, 4 generations. So it was very emotional for me. But in all that I received from his comedic commentary, who knew that that would be the lure that God would use to pull me in. And that's how my journey started. So I started as a viewer, ended up becoming a patron, and now I am a member, as I stated. I had no idea that I still had so much, as he coins the term, church brain, that still needed to be uprooted. So what Reformation has done for me, what the LRL platform, Patreon, has done for me has been transformational. I was so over church. And I know many have kind of shared and expressed the same thing in this community. But I was over church because I knew it just had to be something so much more to what life was. I saw it as oppressive, and what Dr. Reid has given to me and so many others in this community is experiencing the divine of who we are, the divine being of who God is, in a way that was so limiting from church. And so that is what Patreon, as well as being a part of Reformation Church of Atlanta, has done for me. But it was the lure of his Facebook Lives. And I'll be honest, there were times where I would cringe because my brain sometimes couldn't fathom some of the comedic ways in which he would present topics, but he presented topics that oftentimes the church wouldn't talk about. Things that were oppressive, astrology, sex, things that were often deemed as witchcraft or dark, but yet those are things that were taken from us, that suppressed us, that limit us. And so his teaching, the nuggets and his wisdom from his commentary has been so transformational for me, so life-changing. And so I offer anyone who finds themselves like at the crossroads of just like, it has to be more, like there has to be more than life. It is. This community has helped me to embrace the mystical side of who I am, begin to understand that of what I was called to do, the divine being that I am, to walk boldly in who I am because of who Dr. Reid is and how freeing he is and how bold he is. It allows and has created those same sacred spaces for so many others. So, and that's been my testimony and my journey. I have changed in so many ways for the good in all aspects of my life, from emotional, spiritual, and financial. I can tell you that whole financial wellness plan is a game changer. It has been life-changing. That is who I am. Dr. Reid, thank you for your complete and total yes, and for all that you continue to do.
And why don't you make the decision to become a part of our community? Go to patreon.com. That's patreon.com/Larry Reid Live, and you can become a part. There's so many teachings that are in there right now. The moment you download the app and you turn your notifications on, because I go live in there and it's just me and you and our family. Turn the notifications on so you know that when I am online sharing something that I only want you to know exclusively. Now, inside that app, there's a space called collections. And when you click collections, a large collection of all of the teachings on numerology and astrology, just like Shante mentioned, it's all in there. The financial wellness plan, the build your immune system health and wellness plan that we started years ago. It's all happening inside of the Patreon community. And I want you to be a part of that. We are in an intense time that we knew was coming. The heavens told us so. And when we pray, the Spirit confirmed it as well. Sometimes the Spirit tell us, and then the heavens would confirm. Because like the Magi that found Jesus, the stars brought him there, then the Spirit told him how to lead. So you need science and spirit. I can teach you all about that, but only in Patreon, patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. Go ahead and sign up for the year, because you need to know what you need to know and have the right person in your ear for the year, because the person in your ear has the power to direct, change, prosper, end, complete, bless, or mess up your year. So protect your ear. I'll be right back. We're about to get started.
Multimedia personality, comedic commentator, songwriter, recording artist, spiritual leader, author, and actor. Larry D. Reid is the founder of MBN Global, owner of LDR Enterprises based out of Atlanta, Georgia, and the spiritual leader of the Reformation Church of Atlanta. You can catch Larry Reid on the BET Plus original series Kingdom Business and on American Gangster Trap Queens, streaming online at BET.plus. Looking for a vibrant community where faith meets empowerment? Welcome to the LRL community on Patreon. Here, you'll gain access to our financial wellness plan to level up your money game and the Build Your Immune System Health and Wellness Lifestyle Plan to keep your health in check. But that's not all. With the groundbreaking AIR project, we're creating jobs in Africa, beginning in Ghana. Plus, you'll unlock insider tips from senior executives across industries. And the best part? Be a part of our daily prayers, weekly coaching sessions with Dr. Larry Reid himself, Sundays at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Breakdown Q&A Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern on Patreon, and so much more. It's time to connect, grow, and thrive. Get the apps, grab the merch, and join us on patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. Let's build something amazing together. The LRL community is waiting for you. Church Critic by Dr. Larry D. Reid, an examination of the Larry Reid Live Show perspective. Available now on Amazon and Kindle. Inside, he shares his unfiltered perspectives on the issues the church often avoids: the role of women, deconstruction, fatherlessness, homosexuality, decolonization, and the clash between Western and African Christianity, and so much more. Get your copy today on Amazon and Kindle. Stay connected to Larry Reid Live. Take a moment and like the Facebook page. Subscribe to the YouTube page and hit the bell. Text LRL to 888-982-3820. That's the letters LRL to 888-982-3820 and get notified when we go live. Become a member of Patreon. Log on to patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. Sign up, download the Patreon app, and turn on your notifications. Get connected today.
We're about to have a conversation. All right, it's time to have the Commodore say Synapster Lule. Today's date is March the 11th, 2026. We are normally inside of Patreon on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. And it came to my mind to come out here publicly. So you're going to hear some conversation that may sound like, what are they talking about? I don't know what it is, huh? What is that? That's because you're not a part of Patreon. Become a part of the Reformation family. Go ahead and sign up. And I think you'll be glad that you did much later on. I made a decision to come on because one of the Celestial Circle members' son is in California, and we just saw a publication. I'm going to need to pull that up too. Can you text me that link so I can hit it on my laptop and bring it over so that we can read this publication that I actually posted inside of Celestial Circle moments ago from it's a very important outlet. What is the name of that? U.S. Daily, Weekly? Send me that link. And the article talked about one American state being the focus of Iran. But some time ago, I told you guys in 2017, under the Trump administration, what would happen to this nation's global reputation and how our government would become split. And the vision was the Capitol building was split in two, later on raided. And I said this would happen under the Trump presidency. Some people were like, okay, he came, he went, it didn't happen, Larry. But then it began to happen in a deeper way the second term. We saw the raiding of the Capitol and all of those things the first go around, but this time we're seeing that global aspect, and we're seeing that war aspect, and we're seeing how we are showing up as a nation globally. We're looking like a bully, really. And we always been one, but that's a whole other conversation, a bloody bully at that. Inside of Patreon, I began to share some things about the government last year. And we looked into the heavens, we listened to the spirit, and we're able to find out some things. And one of the things we found out was about the government shutdown. We found out the day that it will be over. And then we said, first of the year is going to come back. And just yesterday, a lady that listened to that live, and I was telling them what to do once your job come back in the check. She followed my directive. She contacted me yesterday, sent a sizable seed and told me thank you. She said, because everybody else is panicking, but I heard what you said and I prepared. And because of that, I'm not hurting. See, the person that is in your ear, they're going to determine how you experience that year of your life. And if you got a futurist in your ear, that is, listen, you set and ready to go. So I want to invite you into Patreon. I want to invite you to be on these morning prayer calls on Sunday morning at 8 a.m. and on Wednesday night, the Q&A at 7 p.m. inside Patreon, because we may not always be able to come out here publicly to let you see into the community. I will always try to share the information. You got to follow Facebook. You got to follow the IG, because I post some inspirations there as soon as I get them. And just 3 days ago, I posted 3 cities. I said, these 3 cities, you need to keep your head on a swivel. And there's a reason for that, because of what these cities do and what they represent as relates to America. Well, I want to make that list longer tonight. I want to add more cities. So if you are watching and you are in one of these areas, I want you to be on high alert. I don't want you to be in fear. I want you to be in awareness. I don't want you to be in fear, but I want you to be focused. I don't want you to be in fear, but I want you to be prepared. I'm going to tell you the cities, and I have the privilege of being the coach of some people that are in power. And I've asked, could I share certain things and I'm going to because I've seen it online, but it's not on the major networks. So I'm going to use my platform to tell you what I've been told and what people are being told that are in certain jobs that are sensitive. And they're telling their families, and their families are telling Larry Reid Live. So I'm going to tell you so that you can be prepared, especially if you live in one of these 7 cities. Now, 2 years ago, we began to get prepared for the possibility of the infrastructure of America to begin to break. Ladies and gentlemen, we're seeing the breaking of America, the collapse, meaning certain things are breaking down, but it's breaking down so that it can be reborn, and it's going to be better. As we go closer and closer into 2040, especially 2044, we're going to be past these first 10 years of Pluto that's digging up, tearing up, and Saturn hitting so hard, coming in around the 26th of April. Saturn is that structure. It deals with the infrastructure and the government, and it's coming in there to just ransack and change everything. There's going to be excruciating pain. It's going to be bad, but it's also going to be good because the end of the thing is going to be better than the pain of the thing. So I'm going to mention these 7 cities. I'm going to tell you why. But first, I want to talk to you about the planets we have been watching. We've been on Planet Watch since 2024. 2023 going into 2024 when Pluto first went into Aquarius. Pluto in Aquarius. Can everybody put that in the chat? Pluto in Aquarius. Larry, what does that mean? Now, when it comes to looking at the heavens, you're also dealing with math. You're dealing with science. And then with those two, you marry history. How did you do in history? How do you do in math? How do you do in science? This is going to let me know how you're going to do in the prophetic sciences, because these 3 are extremely important, even some geometry. But let's just deal with that. How were you in math, science, and history? Well, you're going to have to really focus in because your survival, your prosperity, your positioning, your plan, your game plan is going to be dependent upon your work with math, your work with science, and with history as relates to the heavens. See, when you cannot hear what the Spirit is saying, when you cannot see which way to go, you should be able to pull data together and observe patterns and get some kind of placement on what I may need to do and maybe what I should be paying attention to. So I want to invite you into this conversation that may seem a little foreign. Like, why are we talking about Uranus, and why are we talking about Pluto? Why are we talking about Saturn and Neptune? Because these are the planets. Listen, these are the outer planets that are shaping, reshaping, ransacking our planet. These other planets and their relationship to ours is extremely important right now. So it was in 2024, and we came in there, and Pluto danced on up in there in January. But then, as I told you before, everything's in movement. And when these planets first go into these positions, they sort of dance in and out of it. And Pluto came in there, and we began to feel this Pluto energy at the end of 2023. This is when we had this Diddy uncovering. We had all this stuff that was coming out by these people in power. Because Pluto's work, several different things, but one of the main things that Pluto do is expose. Put in the chat, Pluto exposes. Pluto pulls back everything. It looks real nice, real shiny, real beautiful, don't it? Pluto said, let me show you this. Bam! And then you see all of this stuff. What? But Pluto does that so that you can work with that stuff and get it up out the way. Then experience recovery, restructure, and renaissance. So Pluto is here to make us better and to make us smarter. Pluto wants to make us more technologically smarter, to advance technology. That's what Pluto is here for. But those first 10 years, because Pluto's in Aquarius for 20 years, and whenever this happens, America goes to war. America, globally, there's war, there's tension, there's upheaval. But the purpose of it is to end up better. That first 10 years is what we in. That 2024 to 2034. Now, the longer Pluto gets into its full, mid, and near the end, then we're going to begin to see, there's some sense of some positive change that's going to stay, and we're never going to be what we were. So this Make America Great Again garbage is actually, and by no means am I saying God is using Donald Trump. I think it's improper to say that, and it's a misrepresentation of God and his ways. God used, or universe used, whatever you put your attention and focus on, or whatever you put in your hand. He will work with whatever, she will work with whatever, they will work, it will work with whatever you got going on. If your heart and your mind is to be your best self and contribute good to this world, to love yourself and love God, gonna work with whatever you got going on to get you into your purpose and your most favorable expected end. Because God is good. But I don't want to say God is using Donald Trump. What I am saying is his Make America Great Again is all about going to the underbelly of America and exposing its racism, its hypocrisy, and all those things. That whole campaign is an exposure campaign on the past history of America that they want to hide. But it is now bursting at the seams. That's Pluto. But after this administration, and that's going to be 2 cycles after, we're going to begin to see it at the end of the second cycle. The next presidency is going to be 2028. But by the time we get to that next presidency, what's that, 2032? We're going to really begin to be like, okay, now this is, we're changing forever. And then as we get into 2036, 2038, this is where you're going to begin to see the brown woman take her place. Because America's Renaissance will be the result of the brown woman taking her place in the White House, Congress, locally, everywhere. That is going to be the sign of a whole new world as far as America is concerned. And this is going to be amazing. We're going to many of us are going to be here for that. If y'all eating right, that's why you need to go to patreon.com/Larry Live and get on the Build Your Immune System, Health and Wellness Plan and make it a lifestyle. So you can elongate your years to see the best you've ever seen before. America is going to get it way later on. There are many places that already got it. Our quality of life here, horrible. We're treated like slaves while wearing Gucci and living in amazing houses and being homeowners. But we're treated horribly. We're fed poison and then charged high to get to a medically induced wellness. Horrendous. This is a toxic capitalistic system, lacks integrity. You can do capitalism with integrity. America has chosen not to. It's very selfish, It is mean-spirited, predatory, capitalism, toxic. But I have been places like Dubai, capitalism, but a more integral, thoughtful, people first, us, no eyes is us. And that's what we deserve here, where everything ain't so high to eat. Okay, you pay us more, but you charge us more. That's a farce. That's what you call that, an illusion. And Pluto causes the cover to come back, to see things, people, leaders, situations as they truly are. And then Neptune, all this deconstruction talk. Shout out to my deconstruction dream team. And thank y'all for allowing me to call you that, because y'all are y'all own entities. But you come here with me like Christian Smith and D.E. Polk and Reverend John Scott and Apostle Dr. Janine Hyman. You see these voices coming up, saying things that we ain't heard before. You see a lot of these young white people that are talking about the government on IG and TikTok. You see a lot of these young white women that are talking about Christianity. You see a lot of brown women that's talking about Islam. And you see a lot of these Jews, some Jewish people that are deconstructing in their faith. They're not leaving their Abrahamic faith, but they're thinking about what they have believed and making adjustments. That's Neptune. Neptune calls you to look at what you have believed, your faith, and have heated discussions, almost like a war. You hear Tiffany Montgomery, she says this. Juanita Bottom says this. And then Jake says this. Paula White says this. Well, who we believe? This is not diversity. This is division from deception. This is not deconversion. This is deconstruction. We're about to return to the faith in its purest form as it was practiced in Africa. Hence, I identify as an African Christian. So let's begin to look at these things on a personal level. Do your own study time. But right now, I'm going to deal with Uranus, and then I'm going to tell you the 7 cities. Now, at some point on tonight, I'm going to ask the Reformation communities in here, but you may be watching and say, I want to participate. I'm going to ask you to support the MBN Network Global, MBNG. You're going to see a link put in the chat where you're going to be able to donate. But you can donate at 4 different levels. 4 different levels, and I am in the wrong thing. Hold on for a minute. Let me pull it over so I can show you. Yeah. Where is it at? Is that there? Let me look and see this here. That might be Sunday. Oh, no, here we go. You see this? That's tipping point. That ain't right. Oh, my God. Is it not on my computer? Wait a minute, y'all. Give me a minute. Why ain't none of the things from the, what's the name up here? Let me go to right here. No, that ain't it. Did I sit there and delete every last one of them up out my... Hold on. I think I just found it. Okay, here we go. I found it. Okay, cool. This month we're in, okay, January and the year was the turning point. February was the tipping point. And this month is the trajectory point. And there's a reason for this. But you're going to be able to donate tonight at 4 different levels. I'm asking everybody watching to do $53.33 if you can. If you can't, do some threes, $3.33, $13.33. But not right now, but in a little bit. After I give you the 7 cities, I'm going to ask you to support this platform. Now, those of you that are doing it at the high performer and the stakeholder level, you already know you're going to get a phone call, and the other prophet in the community, Shamako, is going to send you or either call you. He's either going to send you a prophetic word or he's going to call you, thank you for your donation, pray with you in whatever situation you may be in. He's going to pray prophetically. So he can ask you no question. And then he's going to give you the prophetic word. But then those of you that are supporting us at the $533.33 level, because everybody here ain't on the same level of money, faith, and finances, I am going to call you. I am going to send you a message. Actually, I send you a message. And I consult with Spirit, and I send you what I see. And that has been very powerful. And I got about 5 or 6 of you on my list from Sunday, and I will be getting to you by the end of the week. But we're not doing that right now, but we're going to do it in just a little bit. And you're going to be a link that's going to show up. Only 2 ways for you to donate here, and it is through Zelle or through that link that is dropped. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Uranus. I think I got this in here. I think I actually have something that tells us about Uranus. I do. Here we go. Uranus symbolizes innovation, also rebellion, sudden change, influencing how you express individually, break conventions, and respond to unexpected events. So that's the energy of Uranus. But Uranus is coming out of Taurus and is Cancer. Coming out of Cancer. Wait a minute, hold on a minute. Coming out of Taurus and moving into Gemini. And let's talk about that. And I'm going to tell you what happened the last time this happened. So Uranus is a lot of times people nickname it as a change planet. But in this case, it's not just a change planet. In the United States, when Uranus was in Gemini, there was always an upheaval that is tied to war, rupture, communication systems change, transportation trade changes, ideologies changes. And we already got Neptune doing what it's doing, so it's a second layer. That's why it's so intense. And internal division. Now this is where we listen here. Because I've heard some prophets say some things and they did not listen to the Spirit, became presumptuous, or they don't know the sciences. The Spirit said in 2017, I saw and it's still online, I saw these nurses, doctors, judges, police officers. There was something going on American soil, and everybody was running different places. But then there was this syncopation between these random people who were uniformed according to their vocation. And while everybody's running, they operated like they had some communication amongst each other. And when everybody is running frantically, they were in sync stepping. And they were carrying like briefcases, if they were carrying briefcases or carrying something as relates to their job. Their clothes began to disintegrate, their outer garments. And under their garments, they were all in this same military color. And what was in their hand changed that, what I would call an AK-47. And they began to shoot the running people. And I said in that same live is still out there. Some of you in the chat may remember because you've been following the platform for a long time. And I said, our enemy is inside our borders. Well, there was a communication that was sent to be published to all Americans days ago. Still, we ain't seen it. But if you watch news overseas, which you should be watching now, you need not to simply watch what's on your TV or you ain't gonna know. And they are saying, Iran, Americans, because your president has bombed and killed our Ayatollah, I think that's how you say it, excuse me if I'm not pronouncing it proper, our leader, not just him, but his family, much of his family. And because you will not stay out of Middle Eastern affairs, we tired of this. We've been dealing with this for decades. And now you done killed our leader? America isn't safe. This is what they said. And Americans aren't safe, even in their homes. Why isn't this on our TVs? It's not. Then, days later, which is just days ago, a communication intelligence from the FBI and from Homeland Security sent it up to the White House. Look, we need to let Americans know to put their head on a swivel. The White House intercepted it. And their reason for intercepting it, they said, is so that they can correct the language and make sure nothing's wrong with it. From the darn FBI and Homeland Security that works in intel, and we still ain't heard it. If it came out, must have happened in the last few hours, I ain't hear nothing about it. Whole problem. Now, an outlet has gotten hold of some information. And they are putting out some reports from Iran. Who is they? FBI. They're putting it out. You got to remember, what's the problem? Ain't the president and all of them all in the, that's their friend? No, you got to remember, when President Trump took office, he done 437,000 decree after decree after decree after decree. And then he fired people that knew how to do their job and put his friends in. So now, look at this here. What is this? Pluto, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Let's look at this. We're going to read this together. We all need to be looking at this. Don't turn away. Don't turn away. We're going to read this together. All right. Iran plotting drone attack on California as retaliation for the war, terrifying FBI reveals. Okay, breathe. We ain't scared, but we're becoming aware. Our senses, like spider senses, let's set them up. Let's breathe and say, okay. Spirit of God, give my eyes and ears extra sensitivity as I move throughout my day. Angels of God, walk with my children and my loved ones as they move throughout the city. That's the mode we start going into. So we can begin to pray and don't please God protect us. That begging stuff, the Euro-Western Christianity taught you to beg like you begging master at the plantation. Get rid of that and send Culver and go back. And remember, and grab your Africanized technologies and pray like God is in you and speak as if you are a son of God and make stuff happen with your articulation. So you tell angels what to do. You tell powers where to go. You subdue, subjugate, pull down, destroy, tear up with your mouth. Let's read. The FBI alerted California law enforcement to potential Iranian drone strikes on the West Coast in retaliation for the U.S. war against the Islamic Republic. Iran allegedly aspired to conduct a surprise attack using unmanned aerial vehicles from an unidentified vessel off the coast of the United States homeland, specifically against unspecified targets in California, in the event that the U.S. conducted strikes against Iran. The alert obtained by ABC News said, "We have no additional information on the time and method, target, or perpetrator, of this alleged attack," the FBI updated continued. The alert surfaced as Trump administration continued its sustained offensive against Iran. This move follows a pattern of escalation in the Middle East, where the regime in Tehran has used drone warfare as a primary tool for retaliation. Both the FBI and the White House declined to comment for the story. Mexican drug cartel drone usage has also picked up in recent months, raising the stakes for U.S. border security and the safety of personnel operating in the region. A government bulletin from September warned that an unverified tip indicated Mexican cartel bosses may have greenlit drone strikes targeting American law enforcement and military personnel along the southern border. The bulletin noted that while such an attack on U.S. soil will mark a dramatic and historic escalation, officials consider the scenario plausible, even as they acknowledge cartels have historically steered clear of provocations likely to trigger a heavy response from Washington. Now, why isn't this being discussed? I'm going to tell you why. Because they don't want to incite fear, and at the same time, they just raggedy. I'm just simple as that. Rag-good-D. And remember my nickname for the president, Rat. Raggedy ass Trump. Anyway, so that's the reason why. That's the reason why. Great question. Somebody said, why California? I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. But this is Uranus now. Now, I'm going to skip some of all of the detailed stuff because you may not be interested in that stuff. Anyway, I just have this thing where I want to try to teach everybody what I know. But you may not even care to hear anything about it. Uranus rules disruption, rebellion, shocks, technology, sudden reversals, innovation, breakage from old order. Gemini, and that's the sign that Uranus is going into, communication, information, roads, rail, air, travel, transportation, trade links, duality, internal split, propaganda, media ecosystems, neighboring networks, nervous system speed. This is why there's this heightened sense of angst that is in many of us. The closer we get to this Gemini, it's going to happen in April. Oh, there's so much I need to say about what's happening in the heavens between them dates, but this ain't the right line for it. When you put these two together, you get information war. I was in Dubai, and the things that I saw online that they were saying was happening in Dubai just wasn't happening. We mentioned coming into this year how AI was going to be weaponized and it was going to be used to play in the consciousness of the masses, and we're beginning to see it. So information war, these two together, information war, cyber war, narrative war, internal factionism, that's that split, transport disruption. We see this even with the airline. Surprise attacks. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying now? Splintering alliances, and we begin to see this Russia and China going on the other side of Iran, and We saying UAE saying, okay, U.S. you can't use this. And Iran is saying, UAE, the reason why we are just sending more to you than anybody is because you allow the U.S. to have a certain kind of base and asset there. And they said, if you would kick United States out, we will be done with sending drones and missiles. They even said on their news, I watched it, they said the only way this war is going to stop now is that America close all of their bases out of the Middle East and go back to the West and quit bullying us. Why is your presence so strong here in the East when you're over there? The last time, whenever Uranus go into Gemini, here we have war. Let me tell you the wars that we've had when Uranus is in Gemini. Remember I tell you about the heavens, math, science, history, to find the pattern. And when we look, the last time Uranus was in Gemini, we had a revolutionary war. The last time Uranus was in Gemini, we have, guess what, y'all? Civil war. Guess what else we had last time Uranus was in Gemini? World War II. The repeat is in the pattern. Ain't none of what's happening now not supposed to be happening. And it's only going to intensify the closer we get to, and somebody check me, I'm going all off memory. When Uranus goes into Gemini, is it April the 26th? So it's only going to intensify, and the heavens are telling us with lunar and solar eclipses and this, that, and the other that is happening since February 1. (1775) was the American Revolutionary War when the fighting began. 1861, the Civil War began at Fort Sumter. The U.S. entered the World War II in December of 1941 after Pearl Harbor. Uranus was in Gemini. The pattern is there. So the U.S. has a documented historical pattern of entering major conflict periods under the Uranus and Gemini. Now, that does not mean Iran is absolutely going to attack one of these 7 cities I'm about to tell you about. But it does mean America is entering her cycle where conflict becomes more likely to spread through communication systems, true social, transport corridors. We just read in this alert that this is coming out of ships. So this is the missiles that come out of the water from some kind of vehicle on the water. Internal polarization. What is tongue? That's one of the side effects of one of my gifts that I can't tell you about. But my tongue has a problem doing certain movements, but other movements it does very well with. But I'm not going to tell you what those are. But it's a gift that's been given to me. And if I was a guessing man, it come from my daddy, that Reid side. Excuse me, this came out. What is my gift trying to follow? It's the gift of tongues. Gift of tongue. And so when it comes to other stuff, I just can't say it. I'm like, why can't I say that word? And it be in my vocabulary right here. But it won't come out my mouth. What the hell? I get back to what I was saying? So, internal polarization. Now, what that sound like? Civil war? I've been hearing people talk about civil war. We've been in the civil war. And I think because, a few things I think because we're in 2026, we feel like, oh, that happened many years ago. We're not like that. Well, that's what they were saying then. War looks different now. Terrorists, trade, AI, cyber, hacking, cyber, financial, BRICS Bridge. Have you studied on that? Write that down, do some research on it. Once that is implemented, and it's supposed to be implemented by the end of the year, that is the absolute end of the dollar. In the sense of worth. It will drop possibly even 40% from where it is now, already in a decline. Because these major countries are beginning to set themselves to operate without the dollar. So this, ladies and gentlemen, what is that? I'm live. Oh, thank you, Naida. What you sending me? Oh, that's right. Thank you. So I said April the 26th. So it's the 25th, 26th. Thank you, Naida. Thank you. Confirmed it for us. So Uranus and Gemini doesn't just point to a foreign global over their war. It points to domestic unrest and copycat behavior. Get ready to see people doing things radicalized by this war right here. People whose minds are sensitive. That's what I call it. Versus, well, sometimes I say crazy, but let's just do proper. They get into this thing. Uranus and Gemini, this happens under this reign. It's the perfect storm. False reports and information overload. Yeah, Larry, that's happening now. Sudden transportation or communication shutdowns. Yeah, I just experienced that. Civilian nervous system exhaustion, which could lead to increase of suicide. Ideological camps are hardening, and other people are looking at their ideas and questioning them and changing. I've seen people look at some of these posts, but I can't believe people still think like that about women. I can't believe people still think like that about gays. I can't believe people still think like that about black people. They're hardening in their ideology. It has to be so that the war can be. So if these patterns in the sky and alongside of history repeat, there will be homeland disruption. There will be cyber and infrastructure sabotage. Watch these bridges. There will be strikes, symbolic strikes. There will be internal destabilization. After this, the external conflict is bringing the energy of it into our country. We're going to see the fight intensify in the narratives. Who said this? Who said that? Constitution being questioned. The possibility of talks to amend or change. So right now we're seeing many of the missiles only and, drones. But this is the trajectory point. Now, what that means at the trajectory point, angles shift, things begin to recalibrate. Now, of course, personally, we're looking at this positively so that our trajectory can remain futuristic and the shortest distance to our destiny. But there's a shadow side. If you begin to create certain things, certain actions, you say, we're going to go to war. I ain't going to do this. Well, I'm going to stand my ground. Then that shoots into the future and becomes World War III. March is a military term. March is a military term. From March all the way down till about September, October, get real hot as we coming out of that summer. What actions our military take right now is either going to send us into a deeper recession, conflict that's so bad that it is right outside of our door in certain cities, or not. But the commander-in-chief is out his rabbit's mind. Once Uranus settles in Gemini, the 25th, 26th, and starts moving forward, we're going to get into some serious manifestations. So April, it starts, and you're going into now May, June, July. You start seeing more evidence of this. Uranus is in Gemini. Late summer into the fall, escalation patterns becomes more easier to identify. Because remember I told y'all 2026 when that thing get tight. 2027, excuse me. And then in 28, 29, 30, we're going to start seeing super global powers like China and Russia. These relationships get tense between America and these. So because of this on our soil type conversation, I want to talk about the cities and why these cities. 7 U.S. areas most sensitive under Uranus in Gemini. I'm about to give this to you right now. I need everybody to hit like if you're watching me on YouTube. Hit like if you're watching me on Facebook. Also, have you made a decision about what level you want to support for this information, for the engagement, or just because you like me? I don't know. You like MBN Global? Have you decided? Okay, well, thank you so very much for what you're going to be doing. Remember, we're doing it in threes. And this isn't giving simply. This is seed. Because this is the trajectory point. And we're talking about it in a global sense, but I want you to look at the personal aspects of the trajectory point. What you do, say, plan, buy, agree to, do right now is going to affect your future. Of course, that is always, but with these planets where they are, there got to be some careful consideration for what you're going to do. You know that stuff you do that don't nobody know that you be doing. Mm-hmm. But you play in that if you want to. Because that is going to become something big later on. You know how many people lay down one night and their health is compromised forever. You know how many people got drunk that one night and now got twins? You know how many people that just allowed that one person to help them and work with them, and they took them for hundreds of thousands of dollars? One decision with Uranus going into Gemini. Remember, the other layer is Pluto and Aquarius. No. Careful, 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 careful. I'm not trying to give you no fear, but I want to give you some focus. I want to put some caution about you. This is a great time to make some plan about your money. Maybe you need to sell some cars or sell some bags or sell a few houses and then take that money and invest it in another way. Listen to me. If 80, 90% of your wealth is in dollars and cents, you need to go read Ecclesiastes 11. You need to diversify. Right, one decision, lifetime change. Step wisely. I like that. Be calculated and intentional. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So the seed that we're sowing is the trajectory point seed. And what we're saying, we're planting by faith with prophetic awareness and intentionality. But we're doing it with our money within a certain number. So that's where the numerology comes in at. And we're doing it on the 11th day. That 11 symbolizes prosperity and the prosperous outcome and the prosperous plan and the prosperous projection. So we're planting it with that awareness. And this is the ask. The seed is trajectory point. The ask is for the wisdom and the knowledge, power that you need passes through time and becomes your harvest. Where is that power at? You're not pulling it from above. It's in you. That's why we're planting the seed. It goes down in. So we're connecting with the soil of that need with a seed. That's just an act. It's just an act. And your faith is connecting to it, and you put it in the ground, and you're planting it in you, and it passes through time and then becomes your harvest. And it can be an idea that give you safety, an idea that move you to your proper place. It can be an idea that generates millions of dollars. This is seeding. This ain't just giving because I'm live. This is very intentional. And we're putting the 3, we're in the 3rd month. And there's a whole thing about that. So you make a decision right now. We're going to do it together in a little bit. But I want to tell you these cities. I'm going to get halfway these cities. And then we're going to do it together. Where is the thing at? Oh, there you go. Everybody can do $53.33. If you can't, just do something in the $23.33, $13.33, $3.33, but something. But those of you that are doing it at the high performer level or the stakeholder level, Shamaka's going to contact you. And those of you that are doing it at the super C level, you will hear from me. Thank you in advance. There's one. Mm-hmm. Now, the link is going to be put in the chat now. If you want to go ahead and do that while I'm going through the cities, you can. And then after you do it, put in the chat what level you did, what amount you did, and don't be ashamed. Well, I only had $13.33. Well, then tell me so I can say thank you. What the hell? Yeah, let me know. Whew, God. So you see the link in there now. You see that? The link is already in there. There's only going to be one posted. Just one. Those of you that are part of MBN Network Global and you're doing the Taruma, well, I guess you do need to put both of them in there. Yeah. So that's the one for everybody to do the trajectory point seed. The other one is those of you that are doing your Taruma. All right. So let's start with city number one. I'm going to tell you why. What is this? The 7 U.S. Open that door. I'm about to fry. The 7 U.S. areas most sensitive under Uranus and Gemini. Number one, of course, is the National Command Center, so that would be Washington, D.C. Now, what just came to my mind, I'm not even going to say. But I think every black person listening to me, I ain't talking about black skin, it's about black soul, know exactly what I want to say. But I'm not going to say that because I know they watch me. And I want to give them no chance to say, wait, this was a threat. No, it wasn't no threat. It was just a deep desire. But I'm not going to say it. You only know what I'm talking about. But if you black, you know exactly what I want to say right now. Oh, my God. And you better not say it in the chat neither. Make sure you star the people to tell me what they're donating. All right. So here we go. The National Command Center. Why? Political Command Center is Pentagon is the military command center. It's where the intelligence agencies are. Now, because this is a 10-year, you add the numbers up, come to 10, so it comes to a 1. That's leadership and founders' energy, establishmentarian energy, head of household energy. And I explained to you what will be happening all year long when it comes to pastors and senior leaders, but that's another conversation. So that deals with the president. Well, these changes are happening as we're moving into Aries. Aries is the first sign of the ecliptic cycle, zodiac. When Saturn and Neptune came together at 0 degrees Aries, that is what they call the world point. It is the belief that is in the beginning, God created heaven and earth. That is when all of that happened. So that world point energy, it activates, or it hits rather, leaders and leadership structures. And Uranus favors disruption. So we could be looking at a disruption in the presidency and may begin to hear talks about it more and more. But there could be a disruption in the presidency that happens just over a year from now, in 2027, because of that February the 20th Aries world point. Then right behind it, Uranus into Gemini, and it's happening in this moment. That is pointing to a change in leadership. A change in leadership that's not connected to 2028. This could be a change in leadership due to assassination. This could be a change in leadership because of impeachment. This could be a change in leadership because of sickness or disease. I'm just looking at the pattern. Okay. Second city, it's the city that represents America's financial system, Where's the stock market at? New York City. It's the global financial center in America. It's also a media hub. It is the only global city that is on our continent, actually. Why would this be something that happened? Because, 9/11, what did they hit? There's nowhere I've been in the world that didn't know where New York. If they say from America, they say New York, the first thing they say, I'm going to know. What are you saying? Maybe the next one is L.A. So you got Pluto favoring system disruption, and then you got Gemini that rules information networks. So this is what makes New York City make the list. In times of war, remember, financial systems are modern war tactic targets. This is why Dubai has been the most heavily concentrated area of Iran's attack, because it is a global financial hub. Why are they saying ain't no ships going through? Because the globe depends on the Strait of Hormuz being open, and Iran said we're going to shut that thing up. Ain't nobody going through there for nothing. Next place, Pacific Gateway and Media Hub, LA. It is the largest U.S. port complex. And it also is global entertainment media capital. It is Pacific Gateway logistics hub. Next city is where the Pacific Fleet Command is at. That's right, San Diego. The largest U.S. Pacific naval concentration. And they have aircraft, carriers, submarines. And that submarine just obliterated an Iranian submarine. There was 180 people up there. Last I checked, over 90 bodies have been pulled, Iranian soldiers. But we heard about that. Wasn't that on the news here? I think maybe it was. But they didn't tell you about that main one. I think it's the Lincoln that we had out there. Iran fired something at it, a warning shot to let them know, we see you, we know where you at, and we could have killed you if we just used a different missile. And do you think America fought? No, they flew that on another direction. All right. Let's see if we find somewhere else to hide, because we weren't expecting y'all to even have the technology and the wherewithal to know where the hell we at. And you could have just took us totally out. All right, we gone. And that is like our main warship, if I'm not mistaken. Those of you in the military, you correct me if I'm wrong. Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, you name it. It's in, hey Harold, it's in San Diego, my hometown. Wow. All of that. Next one. Where's the largest naval base on Earth? It's in America. Norfolk, Hampton Roads, Virginia. The largest naval base in the world. That's where the Atlantic Fleet Command is, the Pacific, San Diego. So in a war, these places are like key and important. These cities need to be careful. Now, this one you may be surprised about. City number 6. Oh, hold on for a minute. I'm almost done. Please take a moment right now. If you're going to support our platform here, instead of starring stuff, you're making it show up at the bottom. Somebody did it. Was it the ghost over there that did it? Let me show y'all this here. This is the way that you can. Oh, you can also do Zelle. I forgot to tell y'all that. I didn't even put this up. So the link in the chat or Zelle, donations at mbnnetworkglobal.org. All right. I just have a few more cities, so you can go ahead now. So you can and put it in the chat so I can acknowledge it. If you're watching tonight and you've gotten anything out of this, $53.33 to support MBN Network Global. And I would love for you to have an experience with our prophet. So if you can, if you want to, $133.33, stakeholder $333.33, super seed $533.33. And let me know in the chat. Okay? All right, city number 6 and city number 7. The donation links are pinned at the top. What city is the energy capital of the United States? Let me see if you know it in the chat. Thank you, Angel. Thank you, Latina. Oh, let me not do that now. I'm paying attention. What is the energy capital of the United States? There you go. Hera got it. Houston. Petrochemical industry. It also has NASA Command that is there. In a geopolitical unrest, a World War III type thing, which the reality, y'all, the way that this is going, you can sort of call that now, but actually they have to call it. But you got a whole lot of countries that's participating in this thing. But in that type of thing, energy hubs are going to be on the list. Now, because of war law, they will not be just shooting bombs in the residential thing. They won't be doing that. They'll be trying to hit those hubs. Like if you're following the war, they're hitting the places where they get their fresh water from, because in 2 weeks ain't nobody gonna have no water. They're trying to hit the oil reserve so they can burn up all of their oil. So let you know what the war is about, right? Power and money. Positioning. All right, the last one is probably the easiest one to know. Technology hub. Let me see what anybody gonna get in the chat. Let me see. Okay. I don't see it yet. Let me go ahead on so we get out on time. That would be Silicon Valley, San Francisco. It is the technology sector hub. AI, data infrastructure. And also, when you're dealing with AI and technology, you're dealing with the financial tech systems. These 7 cities make up the 7 pillars of modern American power. Under Uranus and Gemini, conflict often targets systems of communication and control, not just territory. Let me tell you what was told to me. And I'm not going to say how I got the information. But there are people who work in government spaces who have been told to take the American flag by the powers that be off your car. Don't have no American flag in your yard. Don't wear any shirts that make people know you are part of a military family or military personnel, because there has been a communication about these Iranian sleeper cells that are already in our country. And they intercepted a signal. A new signal showed up, a new frequency, and it was an encrypted message. And our intel believes, they probably know it, that it's the thing that's supposed to wake up these cells out of their sleep. Y'all got that? Have y'all got all this now? And I know some of us possibly didn't even look at these places as that. You know, we look at the places according to their food and their clubs and shopping and good time and weather. But as an American citizen, it's important for us to now really educate ourselves as relates to our infrastructure and our government. You know, the only time we heard conversation about the government, it was about voting. And that's it. And we never vote in midterms, never. We didn't know what, there was a midterm? I didn't even know all the years. That's the white people just will go vote and then run our life. So we got to have some working knowledge. Got to have some working knowledge. More so now than ever. Because knowledge is power. Somebody asked me a conversation. They said, Dr. Reid, you've been talking about Exodus. Is it time to leave America? I said, yes. Now we have more information. I still believe that. And when I say that, I'm talking metaphysically, not just physically, not only physically. And I'm not talking about leave in the sense never come back, but I am saying for some that will be like that. But in order for you to be healthy in your body and your mind and your spirit, you need to go where you can live a better quality of life. If you decide to choose regions that could possibly have conflict, where you have to go to another one of your homes, or if you're a nomad, you may have to stay in another country for a little while. You know, maybe you shouldn't do that. But global citizens, nomads, and investors, you know, I'm in that group. That's pretty normal. If you are invested or have property in areas like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, or whatever, and it's investments, you know, they fight sometimes. And typically, it's us that's the problem. We interjecting, bullying, turning one against the other. Let me see. I see a comment in here. Not true. What is not true? Some folk love to come in here and try to tell me something about what I'm saying. But then you ain't got no platform. Don't nobody follow you. Don't pay no attention. And you just want to take the moment to try to show you, oh, you smarter than me. You know, you might be. But sit down over there and shut up. Just like to just start something. And your name ain't even spelled right. What is your name? What is their name? Oh, okay. I saw that wrong. My glasses. So it's time to move to a small town. But yeah, there are places that you can go to and have a great quality of life. I was talking to somebody that's saying their retirement is like $4,800 a month. And somebody, it's not enough money. That's just because you ain't opening up your options. And I began to show them certain places. Let me see. I may have this. Look at here. Certain places for flight, first month rent plus deposit, utilities, furnace setup. That's all it takes. That's the amount of money to some of these places. Now, Mexico got something going on with the cartel right now. And let me see. Malaysia's a great place to be right now. Conflict don't never happen there. Even Singapore. That's not up here, though, but that's expensive. Costa Rica, lay back Colombia. I mean, ain't no place perfect. Am I finished? I think I am. All right, let me acknowledge those that have reached in here and supported us tonight. That may not be true for you, but I'm talking for the majority, most. Except you was raised in the family because you was military or something like that. Those weren't conversations. They just were not. So you should have said not true for me or not true for the people I know. They do. They love us so much. They're the first people to capture us and ship us out. They love us. Oh, that's great, Harold, and smart. The money go a long ways there. Thank you, Angel. Are you back in the States yet? Can you? Wherever you see this, that means I'm back in the States. Other place, black. All right, let me recognize those that have supported. Thank you for joining the members only. There's some stuff over there, too. And there's going to be a little bit more stuff over there because of something that I heard. I saw. Well, I didn't see it. Somebody sent me the transcript. Might as well use this content to go over there and drag a nigga. Just cause. Hell, it's wartime. Oh, my God. Okay, Letitia Murphy, thank you so much for the partner seed. Lala, thank you so much for your partner seed. DeQuincia, thank you so much for your partner seed on tonight. Shante, thank you for your partner seed. I recognize and agree with you. Dominique Jones and the Jones family, how are you guys doing? Miss Pat, thank you so much. 333. So we have stakeholder. All right, let's see if we can get 5 stakeholders, 5 high performers, 5 stakeholders, 5 high performers, 5 super seeds, and then 53 partner seeds. That's what we're going to get. Let me say that. I didn't say that right. Through Shima, thank you so very much. Hey, Carrie, stakeholder. So Michael's going to be calling you. Thank you. That's 2 for stakeholder. High performer. Thank you so very much. Batsons. That's the first high performer I saw tonight. How about you, Kendall? Partner seed. All right. We just need about 49 more of those. Thank you, Dorothy. Crystal Williams. Thank you so very much for that. Thank you. Maureen. Thank you so very much. Carmen Evans, I ain't seen you in a while in the chat. How you doing? Thank you. Arjine, thank you for your donation. High performer, we're gonna have them 5 and real quick. Shamako's gonna be calling you Lena. Sending you the prophetic word. Thank you, Virtuous. Glow. I love that she's putting that in there. That's like one of the main manifestors in the community. Thank you. Shamako's going to be calling you high performer again. Rosetta done a super seed. Great. I get to speak with you this week. That's going to be great. $603.33. And Taruma, bless you so much and so big. Who's this now? Lisa C. Thank you so much, partner C. Thank you so much, Elisa DeWitt. How are you doing? Oh, Lord. All right, Cheryl. Oh, I see. You know, because when, you know, you got the top part of the glasses is for you see far, and the lower part for you see close. And sometimes when it's the smaller glasses, that line ain't that easy to see. You live near there? Oh, wow. Cheryl, thank you so very much. I hope you enjoyed tonight. Thank you, I am Haycott. Shamako's going to be calling you. Linda Pro, Partner Seed. Thank you so much. We're getting some more Partner Seeds. We're going to have about 53 partners. Rhonda Chambliss, how are you? Partner Seed. Vanda, Partner Seed, thank you. Hey, Farrell, how you doing? Partner Seed. Roxanne Ward, High Performer, Shamako's going to be calling you. Angel Sorat, Partner Seed, thank you so very much. Latina, Partner Seed, thank you so very much. Jacoby, thank you very much. Donated $53.30. Thank you, Margaret Kendi Clark. Thank you. You said California. Why California? State economy in the United States with the tuna. Yeah, yes. You said why California? I already answered it. Because of San Diego, Silicon Valley, and LA. That's why. They want to hit all that. In fact, California, if it was a country, it'd be like number 10 or 6 in economy. It can really be its own thing. Aretha Henderson, thank you so very much. See your Partner C, Beverly, Sweeting. William, what's up? Slightly above Partner C, thank you so much for your support. Miss V, 1333. William, you might have to head up a conversation in the community. You know, like we'd be having in the man cave. Everybody, but we got it. We got it in the community. Just ain't talking about it. Florine, thank you so much. Shamako's going to be calling you. Danielle, high performer. We done got them by high performers. Shamako's going to be calling you. Partner C, T.E. Price, bless you. Thank you. Alan, 5333, thank you for your support. Nathan, 5333, thank you for your support. You too, Shanae, God bless you. T. Gatlin, Taruma, Personal, and Partner C from Business, Planted and Preparing for. I know that's right. Fola, Wagwan, 2333, Partner Akeem, God bless you. I am Dr. Stephanie Stevens with your singing playing self. Stephanie Lynn, I said Stevens. Thank you so very much. Prayer seed from this morning. Okay, yeah. It was a great prayer this morning. Hey, Mother Irene. Thank you. 5333. Lachey, Partner C. Thank you so much. Good to hear from you today. Tay, Tamara. Thank you for your seed on today. Jermaine Gardner, thank you for your support. CJ Tabiri, thank you for your support. Aquina Render, hey there. Can't wait to see you. Silent Strength. Taruma Type, 9388 and 133. High Performer, Shamako's going to be contacting you. Julie Alexander. The Real Chi, how you doing? I ain't seen you in the chat in a little piece. You know I'm always here, so it's good to see you. Thank you for your support. Mother Ivory, thank you for your support. Partner C. And listen, some of you, I know when you view it, you're going to come back and donate. We list it in our Patreon. After everybody finished donating about 5 p.m. tomorrow, it'll be dropped in Patreon. Check there, you'll see your name, as we want to recognize everybody who support us. We are in a financial hard time across the globe, particularly here. There are hundreds of thousands of people that have lost their job in the last 18 months. And I know you may have you've been a little bit more tight now, and I understand that. The first thing to go is your charitable donations. You're going to still need to go out, have a good time, travel. sort of manage with what's going on. So the first thing you cut is your charitable, and I do understand it. So that's why I want to honor when you say, you know what, I can use this. They're going on a cruise, but let me sell this and help this work that is doing something good. We are not staff heavy, so it ain't like, not anymore. It's not going to be like everything coming in has to go to that. No, we're able to do what we do here, what we do in Ghana, what we do in Dubai. The farm that we have in Ghana, we also have an NGO there, a non-governmental operation, but we work with the government for feeding and schooling and things of that nature. We got that going on. We also have investments there because I wanted to get it to where MBN Network Global, 18% is the sweet spot of revenue that comes from, prayer, seeds, donation, all of that, and the rest from our investments. And that is the goal, and we're on our way there. Our first investment is in Ghana, and that is great. And so much other stuff we're able to do in Ghana. We're able to hire some of the Ghanaians and pay them above what they're normally paid there, which is, if I told you, you wouldn't believe that some of these people work 10 hours a day, 5-6 days a week, and they make less or around $100 a month. It is amazing to hear and to see, but we're changing that. As a community, we are changing that. And I'm so happy about that. And it's great. Erica Counts, thank you so very much for your partner seed. Hey, Joy. High performer. Shamaka going to be calling you. Candace Johnson, how are you doing? High performer. Shamaka's going to be calling you. Alicia Hornsby, high performer. Shamaka's going to be contacting you. Sandra Woods. Make sure those of you like, my first time, make sure we got your phone number. So if you did it through Zelle, I think they do it through Stripe, automatically we got your number. But through Zelle, we may not have your number. So you may need to email donations@mbnnetworkglobal.org and let us know your contact so that we can contact you. Sandra Woods, thank you. Hey, Longs. How you doing? How's your daddy doing, Oris? Thank you for your partner seed. Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you. Thank you for your support. Y'all, it's 9 o'clock. I came up here a little late, though, but yes, it is a blessing. And it changes your way that you think about your money. But all of those things, you should graduate them, meaning you implement them, you're very strict with holding yourself, all those plans, the Build Your Immune System Health and Wellness Plan, and all, as well as your financial wellness plan. But what you're supposed to happen, you're supposed to graduate it, implement it and hold to it 3 years, and then begin to flow, make it a way of life. Yep. He's still the same, no change. Okay. Look at you being on time. Ms. Pat said, please add your phone number when you're donating. If you're doing it through the link, you can't even donate without giving us your phone number. So we have it. All right, I love you, and I hope this helped. Please share with somebody else. I hope you're in the know. If you want more information, join patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. And when you get in there, collections, and you can scroll all the way back to May of 2019, so much teaching and interaction. And just enjoy your time there. Okay? Bye. I'll see you later. And take care of yourself. And don't let nobody get on your nerves. Stay focused. And stay high alert. High alert. Stay on high alert.
Stay connected to Larry Reid Live. Take a moment and like the Facebook page. Subscribe to the YouTube page and hit the bell. Text LRL to 888-982-3820. That's the letters LRL to 888-982-3820 and get notified when we go live. Become a member of Patreon. Log on to patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. Sign up, download the Patreon app, and turn on your notifications. Get connected today.
This season on Love and Faith Atlanta.
Bishop is interviewing some more pastors.
No. Have these churches and I'm looking for cities.
Have you vetted them already? None of them been in jail?
No, none of them been in jail. But that's not a disqualifier.
Right.
Go ahead and lean back and reel your head back real good and say, I will possess the land.
But I'm trying to figure out why Larry here.
Well, what you mean?
My reservations with you.
What are your reservations?
Maybe I should eat a few of my lamb chops first.
What made you want to do the Doughboy Pizza Cup?
Honestly, I wanted to do something for my sons. My wife and I thought, why not jump into pizza?
We need somebody who's gonna take you and then take you higher. Money is good. Money can do a lot of things.
And also your happiness is good too.
I mean, you married for love already.
I'm just realizing that you and Kurt Franklin are the same height. Psalms 133 says, behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren
to dwell together in unity.
In unity. Unity.
Love and Faith Atlanta Season 2, premiering February 25th, only on Merge TV and YouTube.